Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Dave. This channel is Scott's Toys, where I share my passion, my love of Lego investing, our Bricklink store, and general reselling. This particular episode, we're going to be covering the Lego investment side of the channel, in which case I'm going to share with you some orders. In addition, I am also going to talk briefly about my experience with my first Amazon return and share with you how that went. Now, before we jump into things, I would appreciate it if you would go ahead and click on the like button below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, click on that notification bell so that you can be aware of when our videos go live. As you may have noticed, if you are actually tracking, I did bump back the time that the video goes live. We used to send them live at about 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now they're going live at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm trying to gauge there what the best time to send it live is so that you guys aren't getting the notifications while you're at work or while you're busy. Hopefully getting more into your evening time where you can enjoy these videos. So thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you for coming and checking out our video. I hope you enjoy. All right, so it's been a while since I have shared with you guys an order as it relates to the Lego investment side of things, but here we have it. We have an order 70661. It's the Lego Ninjago Zane Spinjitzu. I want to say I purchased this way back when for about $5. It may have been slightly more than that at $7 or something, but we ended up selling this for $26.99. Funny story. Let me share that while I pull the order. Okay, so the funny story associated with this item is that I was actually in negotiations with somebody to sell the item, in essence, at a reduced cost, I suppose. Someone had reached out, and I think they sent a best offer of, what was it? I think at $15. And I countered saying, look, I'll go ahead and go down to like 25 or something, take a couple bucks off, about 10%. They came back and went to 20. I had done a counter offer. I want to say it was at 23, saying, look, maybe it wasn't 23. Maybe I went a little higher, 24. Anyways, while the counter offer was sitting in their inbox, somebody else had actually gone in and said, look, this is the cheapest one of these items out there. I want it. They happened to buy it before the other person could accept the deal. So I was willing to actually take a couple bucks less, but ended up getting full price for this item. So here we have it. The Zane Spinjitzu set number 70661. This thing's actually in good condition, no box damage or anything really outside of a little bit of shelf wear. So I'm going to go ahead and get this packed up, and this is going to go to Diana in New York. So thank you very much to Diana if you're watching, and if you are just now finding our channel, I appreciate you stopping in and checking us out. Hopefully you enjoy some of our content. I'm going to go ahead and share my first experience with Amazon returns. So many of you know that I am authorized to sell Lego on Amazon through their FBA program, and I've been having a really good fun time with it. It's the best way, in my opinion, to sell Lego, at least based on the experience that I've had so far. And so the return side of things are what I always was fairly reserved or cautious about, and I didn't really know. My first experience was this. One of the first sets that we sold, our Lego Ninjago Zane's Boat Pursuit, I think is what it was called, we had originally sold for about $47.99. Now, months went by, or at least a solid month. I don't know exactly what that return period was, but I had a return request. And so I was a little curious to know exactly how that was going to process through, what that was going to look like. And it was pretty interesting how it actually panned out. So Amazon did end up charging me. So they pulled money back out of my bank account and sent it to the original customer. That customer then apparently sent the box or set back to Amazon, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen with it. I wasn't sure if Amazon just destroys of it, whether they charge me to ship it to me. And I do know that there's a couple options there such that you can have returns routed to yourself. I'm assuming that you have to pay shipping with it, but I don't exactly know. Now, when Amazon refunded them the amount, in essence, they did refund them in its entirety. However, I did still end up getting, I'm going to say charged in essence. They ended up charging me a part of it as a fee. So they have some services. So the fee side of it doesn't get fully refunded to me, if that makes sense, right? So I got X amount of dollars, but Amazon took their fees off the top. When they pulled those dollars back from me, they pulled back everything that they had given me, but didn't give me full credit for the fees, which means they actually ended up charging me a little bit more. It wasn't a lot. I want to say it amounted to about $3 worth of fees that I still had to pay for Amazon to process that order, the return side of it. So Amazon processed the order. It went to the customer. The customer got their money back, and all of a sudden, I ended up getting a lost item notification, or stranded item notification, I think is actually what they called it. And I wasn't exactly sure what that was, which means I had to do a little bit of digging. Now, the stranded item meant that they had received this item and didn't know what to do with it, because I had pulled the listing down as a way to not get restock notifications, because I didn't have any more of that set, in essence, that I knew I would be posting. So if I got rid of the listing, I felt like that was an easy way to resolve the restock notifications, which apparently can impact your IPI. And I'm not going to get into that this video. That's something I'm still learning about. Hopefully, I'll be able to share some great success stories about IPI later, but I digress. So, ended up pulling the listing down. It was flagged as stranded inventory, and after doing a little more reading, the reason is they don't know what to do with it, right? They can't resell it because I don't have a listing that says how much I want it sold for. It's still my inventory, but they don't know how to process it. And so what they were able to do, or what I was able to do, is recreate a new listing for that item. And because Amazon had deemed that that particular package was in good condition, available for resale, apparently the reason for return is that the particular person that this was a present for ended up getting a duplicate, and so they returned it. But Amazon deemed that this package was in a good enough state to be resold. And so by recreating a new listing, I was able to resolve the stranded inventory. It then was made available via FBA for resale again. And shortly after, because of the price on the item, I guess, maybe I had it priced too low the second time around, I charged the same amount, $47.99 in essence, I believe is what I had it listed for. And it sold within a couple days. I then got charged FBA fees and everything just like normal. But that entire process basically only cost me about $3 in additional FBA fees for them to work with the customer, to accept the return, to assess the package, to, I guess, work with me to make sure that we could resolve this stranded inventory item issue. And overall, the experience was extremely positive. So for my first FBA return, so far so good. I guess we'll see how many times this item could potentially come back to me. Hopefully, when Amazon assessed that item to make sure it was resellable, they did do some kind of a quality assessment on it and not just, hey, the box is sealed, but it's completely crushed. I'm curious if that's how sometimes some sellers end up getting dinged, and it's through the return system. Anyways, I don't know. That's pretty much where the story ends. My first experience, overall positive. That one set, I now have to, I guess, kind of go back and show it as a return and then a resale, which means I am going to trim roughly another $3 of profit out of that particular item. But I appreciate that I didn't have to work with the customer, do the return, receive the package, do the assessment. In this case, I did have to kind of create a new listing for it, but had I not removed my listing, in essence, it would have just gone back into my inventory for sale and been resold without a whole lot of effort on my part. And I think that's a win. I think that's where Amazon really is justified in charging us the fees that they do for the FBA service. They have handled that customer experience to make the customer happy, and I didn't have to get involved. I wasn't overly worried about it. The return side of things, in my opinion, don't stress about individual items, right? If you are seeing a systemic issue across everything, sure, you want to figure it out. You might have to give some thought and put some energy towards figuring out how to resolve that, how to improve that. But being that it was the first item, I didn't let it get to me. Even if I had completely lost the item and that $47.99 or whatever my actual item cost was ended up disappearing, I would have been okay with that because it's such a small percentage of the overall sales that I've already had that you just kind of got to write that off and not let that little 1% or 0.5% of your business cause you 90% stress in your life. So anyway, that's the experience that I wanted to share with you. I hope that you found some value in it, or at least some entertainment. And if you happen to buy my Zane's Boat Pursuit off of Amazon, let me know. I'm sure it wasn't you. We are going to round this week's video out by covering the sales, in essence, for last week. I think it was actually 2 weeks ago. But regardless, we had the Zane Spinjitzu set. We covered that earlier today. That was pretty much the only sale. However, I do have to factor in the Amazon return. And I did look it up, and it wasn't the amount that I thought it was. I thought it was around $3 for the fee. What they do is they assess what they refer to as a return administration fee. And on that particular set, it was only $1.44, so that wasn't bad. However, it did bring our total profit down for this week because of it. I'm not factoring in the resale of the item because I've kind of already accounted for it. And really, since I sold it for the same price, the net impact to me is really just that $1.44 charge or fee. And so this week we had a total sales of $33.59, a total item cost of $5, total fees of $6.32, which does include that $1.44, and a total shipping charge of $4.12, giving us a net profit of $18.15. I am aware next week we're going to have a little higher bump, so I'm excited to share that with you. And I think in one of these upcoming videos, I'm going to be prepping that Amazon shipment that I've been talking about forever. Hopefully this isn't a reoccurring theme that I continue to talk about it and never do it. But I'm hoping that that is next Monday's video. It's going to be me prepping some stuff to ship to Amazon because I want to make sure that I keep my IPI high, which means I need to get some more stock in there so that it doesn't dip down too low to make me ineligible for Q4. And maybe next week as I'm prepping the shipment, I'll talk more about that. So thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Leave us a comment down below if you have any experiences with Amazon returns. And as always, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.